Hello, water signs. Okay, so I just laid out the cards. I didn't get my first impressions yet, but some of the messages that I got was connections dissolved, rash judgment. So connections dissolved in the present, rash judgment for the past, for the patterns, limbo for the recent past, passionate encounter as a potential outcome, but there might be some imbalance there. So I'm not sure if it's a lack of it or excess of it or something like that. Um, Cynical. There's an approach here of cynicism involving this whole situation. I'm guessing more from the recent past, but I think it's an attitude as well regarding possibly connections, and then overcoming something, which is for the near future. So this seems like a love reading to me, but it might be like a karmic thing more, not necessarily a karmic relationship, but could be. But and it doesn't have to be negative or whatnot. It's just uh, here clearing up karma, as in facing duties, paying your dues, and just releasing them, I guess. I think you're gonna move away from something. There might be some travel involved. Not necessarily long travel, but some travel involved. Um, but it might be, so for some of you it might be like physical travel, but for others it might be like psychological thing, as in moving to, you make a decision to maybe change a specific environment, or um, focus on something else, prioritizing differently in your life, that kind of situation, which will obviously affect also your daily habits. So what I get from this reading is that in the present moment, there are some things, I do believe it regards like romantic connections, so your romantic life, let's say, but I think it has to do more like with love in general. In this case, it might manifest as love relationship, potential love relationships. I don't believe I don't see a specific relationship here. I think there's more potential rather than actualized here, because I think you might have had something in the past with an earth sign, um, but it appeared, this earth sign, King of Pentacles, appeared in your fears and obstacles, along with other cards. I think it's a situation that's done and over with, something that came to mind. So it's concluded, but it might still affect your psyche because it is part of your past, basically. So it's, maybe it's one of the connections that got dissolved to a certain degree. Maybe you got burned or something like that. We'll get there anyway. So in the present moment, we have the Moon card, which it involves romantic connections, but also it represents like mysteries, hidden things. I hear shallowness with this one for some reason. Shallowness. Maybe you have shallow information, as in there are other things underneath that you don't know about, and so you like surface level information. That might be it in this case. And the crossing card is the death, which is transformation, endings, and conclusions. So what I got with this was connections dissolved. So there's something about specific connections that either already got dissolved or are dissolving, and obviously this helps you change as well. um, I'm not saying good or bad, it's just when we disconnect from people, we let go also some of their own maybe patterns, ways of doing. And because usually when we're connected with them, we're connected through some similarities, so things that match us to a certain degree or mirror us, or especially since earlier came karmic, so something that bonds us to a certain degree. When they get dissolved, these things don't exist anymore, basically, not for us in how we live our lives, basically. You still might have similarities, but on a deeper level, so not on a surface level. Things are not as they were before, so you might not feel connected, as in, it's like, yeah, I don't know how else to say it. It's like you get separated, and you might have similar patterns, but they may manifest differently, or may take different choices. There's disconnection happening, basically, some sort of disconnection that don't align you guys anymore, basically. And again, doesn't have to be good or bad. It's just, different. Um, so whatever kept you together, it's not there anymore. Um, you might not know about this, or you might not know the whole picture. Maybe you sense it, you feel it, you acknowledge it, you observe it, but you don't know why exactly. And or you know to a certain point, to a certain degree. But what you don't know probably is like the different circumstances beyond your own control, outside your own vision and your experience of life that contributed to that. So as in you have your own life, and maybe you've had another person you were dealing with that had their own life. So maybe something in their life happened that you don't know about, and that created a disconnection because they made other choices and whatnot. So there's this happening. The clarifying cards for these two were the Two of Swords reversed, the Three of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So basically, there was no stable offering here. There was a decision. Again, I got the King of Pentacles and the fears and obstacles. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles here. So you might have dealt with an earth sign or a water sign, or both. Maybe it was, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but these are the cards that pop up. So it might, there's like a higher possibility of that, let's say. There might be some working environment here going on, because I see like Eight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. Then I have Seven of Pentacles here. So there might be something related to work as well in the situation. Especially with travel. So maybe you were waiting on an offering that didn't happen, or it's delayed, or it's put on hold, or something didn't go through as it was supposed to. And I think you're being sort of like kept in the dark about it to a certain degree. I think you are a very intuitive person, because I noticed like as a base pattern, one of the clarifying cards for the Judgment reversed was the Sun. Then we have the Moon here. So I don't know if you can see it. So we have the Sun shining. In the Moon card, there's still the Sun behind it shining. How you see yourself, we have the High Priestess. So I think you're a very connected person, like intuitive person. I think you know, even though certain things are hidden for you, I think you have like behind, like at your back, it's like the sensation is like the sun is shining behind your head. So it's as if it's empowering, but it's also as in there's something you know about. It's sort of like intuitively download information about it, and you suspect it, when you have those hunches. So it's sort of like there's a thing that you're, especially if you're going through different transitions, because these situations affect you, you might already perceive some of it, and you're like, I'm guessing this is what's happening. I'm guessing this. You're not certain because you don't have the facts and whatnot, but you're, let's say, feeling it. So there was a decision. There's some things about a decision here. I hear there's some interference here. It's like there's some interference happening. It's quite a mishmash. It's like a mess. It might have the possibility of creating some confusion here. There's something out of balance here, because we have Page of Pentacles reversed, Knight of Pentacles reversed. Then we have King of Cups reversed, Knight of Cups reversed, Temperance reversed, the Devil, Two of Pentacles reversed, Two of Swords reversed, the Moon, the Tower reversed, the Judgment reversed. I hear there's like a veil put upon you where you don't see things happening, and or you're stuck in your own perception. It might be for the greater good or not, I don't know. Okay, so the base patterns, we have the Judgment reversed, clarified by the Sun. So there was like an enlightenment here. So at the base of this whole thing, whatever it is, stands enlightenment, stands like a higher purpose, stands a bigger mission, a bigger vision, something that's building you up, basically. There's a lot of frustration coming out of this. Stand on your own, here. Stand on your own. In the recent past, we have the King of Cups reversed with the Six of Swords reversed. In the near future, we'll have the Six of Swords upright. So something will flip based on a decision, based on dropping something. So when I look at this card, I got this is you, saying this is you, as in this is well, it's a water sign, so this either is actually I got two sides. It's either this is a person you dealt with, or it is you. It might be both, as maybe it was a person who mirrored your exact behavior. And I hear that this is going nowhere. So with this person, this is going nowhere. We have the chariot, the clarifying cards were the Empress. We'll have the chariot, the Empress upright, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, the Tower reversed. So basically, this is not being able to deal with certain emotional aspects. There was delay. There was something that was supposed to sort of change, especially with the Sun card as a base. It's like there was something to be overcome, something to be pushed through, something to be enlightened in this situation, because the Sun, like with the moon, with the Sun behind the moon here, I think this is transparency here, but I think it's to transpire. The Sun and the Judge. This whole reading is about judgments and behaviors and ideas and concepts and unbalanced things that need to be purged, need to be need to allow the Sun to push through. So the Sun here, so we have rush judgments, we have blockages, delays, non-committal energy, unbalanced emotional situations, lack of connections dissolved again, blockage in travel, not getting those job opportunities, not having that relationships, those relationships, not working on them, maybe third-party situations here, especially with spouses, people actually married, unbalanced structures. So this is a whole reading about things, especially with the crossing, that it is death, it's putting ending to this. So it's as if it's a stage of purging comes to mind, but it's a stage where everything needs to be put under the light. It's as if, look at that, deal with that, and allow the Sun to shine through, basically, as to change it. In the recent past, there was maybe a potential partner that maybe I think he or she was either, so the situation is both. It's both. We have two scenarios here. The lack of imbalance in your self-expression, especially as a water sign, and in dealing with your emotions, created delays in your abundant creativeness and in a potential travel opportunity, or moving away from certain past patterns that kept repeating. I think there's like lack of committed relationship, or life-changing situations, or manifesting abundance. Procrastination, maybe there's an element of procrastination, being isolated, being delayed, pushed back, not working, not proceeding forward. So there's like stepping back. The word that I got for this was limbo. So it was like in this situation where you don't belong to the past, but you don't belong to the future either. This is for some of you, and also it may be for all of you actually, but you have to see how it manifests. For some of you, might be manifesting like with a person. Maybe you've met a person with whom maybe you had a specific connection, emotional connection, but nothing happened there. So, and I don't think something will, to be honest. Anyway, in your mind, we have the Queen of Wands reversed and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So I hear you're tired of waiting for something, and I think there is a certain state of disappointment here that's afflicting your mind. But I hear becoming arrogant. Maybe you're becoming a bit arrogant about it, because there was like a sense of cynicism here as well. So maybe your pushback, maybe one of your coping mechanisms is to sort of like, if there was delay, if there was something that you're not seeing, there's something not working, and it's just, okay, F it, I'm just gonna do something else, or I'm too good for this, or I deserve more than this. And it's funny because recently, before I did this reading, I got the message, and also like a state of being is like, find appreciation in the small moments of improvement, instead of looking always at the outcome. Because when you're constantly looking at the outcome of, like, you're doing, for example, you're doing a certain activity, and you want to become better, you want to become the best and whatnot, and you constantly judge yourself based on that specific outcome, and sometimes that may enhance feelings of failure, disappointment, but also it might prevent you from actually appreciating like the small movements and moments of improvement. So if you're like doing a sport, for example, you want to get to be able to, I don't know, you're doing like a self-defense class, and you want to throw that kick properly, and no, I need to learn how to do that kick. So that's the main objective. So you'll constantly be comparing yourself, your own movements, your own training, to that idealized way of throwing that kick. And when you're not doing that, and when you're not reaching that level, you're like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, this is not good enough, this is not good enough, this is not satisfying enough, that kind of situation. Instead of so I guess the shift here is like trying to retrieve your focus from, yes, it's good to have that, goal there, but it's also like to focus on the present, as when, okay, today I'm gonna throw that kick, I managed to, I don't know, turn it better, or I managed to kick it on the right part, or I managed to keep my balance better. So observing yourself actually, and appreciating those little moments of improvement, let's say. So I guess this is the sort of like the situation here as well. So there's like a specific attachment to an outcome, as like an offer, a getting, a traveling, which is fair, especially if, like, if you're being waiting, if you're putting like effort and you're not seeing your results, then you're like, you might be in the state is like, I don't have time for this, I have stuff to do, and this is not satisfying, this is not whatever this past situation is, like with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, with Tower reversed, things not happening, Six of Swords, like staying the same situation, Empress reversed, not generating properly, not lack of abundance, and King of Cups reversed. It's like, this is not, getting me anywhere. But as a base pattern, we have the Judgment reversed, which the main indicative message here was rash judgment. So maybe you're rushing into putting a judgment on things that may take more time to evolve. In the near future, we have the Two of Pentacles reversed with the Prince of Cups reversed, clarified by the Knight of Cups reversed, which is the same Prince of Cups reversed, just to help things along. Then we have the Six of Swords upright, Seven of Cups upright, and that's it. Yes, that's it. So basically, I think this is related to you, this past person or a past aspect of yourself. There's a judgment call that you will have to make, or you're doing at the moment in the present, and that will allow you to see beyond a specific illusion. And here, maybe you're not ready for it. I think if you've dealt with somebody who, again, was married, as I said previously, I think you're moving along from it. You're dropping this. Or somebody who might have been just confused. But I think there's like an element of non-committal. There might be a third-party situation here happening in the past, not at the moment, in the past, because of the Death card, again, connections dissolved. I think this is, again, done and over with. I think either there is a tendency or a behavior of non-committal that's being dropped, and you're entering a more grounded and connected energy of standing your ground, or you're just seeing through this specific illusion where you're dropping, you're not working anymore on this. So if you're working, because again, there's work involved, so maybe you're working with the specific person, like maybe it's a colleague or something. You either move away, maybe you change jobs, or they change jobs, or you just don't deal with them anymore, basically. You just shift. I think it's a lot of mental here. You shift your focus because you're tired of waiting, I think. Maybe there's some impatience here, a lack of passion. There's something ending here. There's something. Let me move forward. How do you see yourself? The High Priestess upright, the Chariot, clarified by the Chariot upright, and lack of passion, and Ace of Wands reversed. Yeah, you've decided to stand on your own in your own situation, despite, even though you might not have, I think at the moment you don't have all the information. I don't know if you will get all the information, but I think at one point it won't matter anymore, because if you're focused on the outcome, it's like, okay, this doesn't change the outcome. Whatever information I might receive, facts are facts, the situation doesn't change. So whatever the excuses are, or even plausible reasons, it doesn't matter, because the outcome doesn't change. I think your mind might be a bit self-centered because of this, but you see, because you see yourself as the high priestess, so you see yourself in your own power, you see yourself with direction, with focus, and balance to a certain degree. You might see also your own faults, let's say, or deficiencies. You might see also your own deficiencies, but I think you stand within your power as well. Divine power comes to mind. I think you're very intuitive, and but you might also, because of past experiences, you might have also certain unbalanced sides, and that are popping up here, and your environment is not helping, because in your environment we have Prince of Wands reversed, with clarified by Why do I have so many clarifying cards for this? Okay. Okay. So Prince of Wands reversed, and the clarifying cards were Page of Pentacles reversed, the Lovers upright, and the Temperance reversed. So there was like dispassionate, I hear, dispassionate offering or lack of offering, dispassionate lack of offering. I think your environment is quite contradictory. It can be contradictory, especially as I said, if you're between this place in this place where you don't belong to the past, but your future is not coming. So you're trying to stay connected to your own present, but you're not seeing things properly. So maybe you tap into both worlds, let's say, and you get into this space of back and forth of imbalance where you try to be connected to yourself to gain that drive, but your environment is quite literally is, I think there is like work involved here or a specific work environment, yours or the other person's, that's not giving, or it's like chatting. There's a lot of chatter, but it's like nothing new under the sun. Fears and obstacles. We have the Hermit reversed, Strength reversed, Nine of Swords reversed, clarified by the King of Pentacles, as I said. So I think in the past you may have been dealing with an earth sign, and this has affected you, as in affected your strength and probably your mental health. And you're afraid from fears and obstacles. It's as if you're afraid to repeat the same patterns, and being isolated and not fit in, and feeling of disconnect and weaknesses, and you stress over it. So I think it might be manifesting in your world where you try to sort of overcompensate with the Queen of Wands reversed, and trying, but it might also help you to connect more because you're trying to gain the truth and find out more stuff about this moon upright in order to proceed with the transformation, because I believe you can feel it, but you're not getting anything from here, I noticed. And you might have some compulsions, coping mechanisms, but also like I think there's like an unbalanced sense of strength and weaknesses here, probably because I hear keeping you uptight. Maybe there's a certain tension, you're tensed. Yeah, so there's like a fear of being disappointed, of not manifesting, of not receiving those opportunities, not being strong enough, basically. And I think this is sort of like affecting this whole situation. I think your self-esteem really got hit in the past, and you've created some patterns of protection, which may be effective, but I think it also keeps. It's like I hear dismissive. You can be dismissive, and it keeps people at bay. It doesn't allow you to get too emotionally connected to some. I mean, you can get emotionally connected, but to explore that emotional connection, especially with the King of Cups reversed here in the past. It might be still good in certain situations. So I don't think you're overexerting yourself, but I feel like this is an ongoing thing where it's applicable for everything, for every situation that may arise. So it's like accepting to sit in a situation where you are hurt, rather than trying to avoid it. Because if you don't have the necessary information at hand, your hurt might just be from your past experiences, not from actual present ones. As in, there might be some triggers or situations that are similar or even the same, but even I know I'm contradicting myself a bit here. The fact that they might have like different reasons, as in the past, maybe this King of Pentacles was here gaslighting. It was gaslighting. So he was like manipulating, in a certain sense, your own thoughts and behavior as to win or maintain control or power over the relationship, whatever you guys had. And this situation, it may have been intentional. In this situation, maybe the King of Cups, even though he's reversed, he might not be malicious, but he may be doing because he's unbalanced. The same way maybe you had maybe good intentions with other people in the past or even the present, where being unbalanced, being unable to express properly in certain circumstances may have led you to hurt other people. So it depends on how your own situation is. But I believe this is like, I hear codependency. There's a certain codependency attachment to a way of being and doing that may have kept you stuck in a pattern of misbehavior from others. Maybe it's like not expressing out loud, boldly and clearly what you expect from them, what you want from them, what you're going to accept from them, what you're going to take from them, may, by you not doing that, it may have propagated this leeway in other people's behavior, as in they might have tried to push your buttons in different ways, and you just let them because you thought, okay, I'm going to disconnect from that rather than push back. Because it's, I don't have time to deal with that, or I don't want to deal with that, or how do I say this? It's as if you didn't stood your ground properly on what you wanted, and maybe you've experienced just a specific version of people as to push you to your own boundaries, your own limits, to when you just say, you not lash out, but you express as in, no, this is not, stop, what are you doing? It's as if release that control of building your wall up every time you see like a misbehavior, because maybe that misbehavior isn't totally a whole reflection of who they are, so maybe you have a potential with somebody, or you had a potential with somebody, but you've constantly seen just the side of them, because maybe you also, it's not excuse for other people's behavior, but it is part of the our responsibility in expressing what exactly, and showing what exactly, showing we are affected, showing we are showing we care, basically, that kind of situation, and let them understand that you didn't like that, or you did like that. As for it is frustrating also for me, because I don't like doing that to people, because it's as if, well, I'm hoping to have like a mature interaction with people rather than, but at the same time, I guess it is part of being mature to express, your being, your wants, your needs, and what are your expectations and standards as well, let's say. So maybe the fear of being hurt again, isolated, being weak, being whatever, and is having this fear of expressing yourself because you get disappointed, but at the same time, this fear keeps you in that disappointment loop. So it's like a self-blockage, I hear. It's like a thing that keeps you waiting for something that is not coming, because it's like people may try to poke you to see, which side, how do they, what do you want, basically. But if you're not showing, then at one point they might stop, or they might give up, or they might just do the wrong thing, or whatever. I hear giving back, so it's as if giving back feedback. It's as if reviewing, reviewing. So this was an interesting reading. It was a bit rushed, to be honest, but I guess this is part also of the rushed energy here, the rushed judgment. So hopefully this was useful, and good luck.